I'm gonna say something that sounds very offensive, but by all means, like your life depends on it, stay away from poor people. Of course, I'm not talking about someone's financial situation, what's in their bank or what's on their wrist. I've been broke and I probably will go broke again. When I say stay away from poor people, I'm talking about a self-inflicted virus that some people have. I'm talking about people who have adopted, confirmed, rehearsed, and then solidified a shit mindset that they would pour into you if you are not careful. I love this quote that I heard from Jim Rohn, and as soon as I heard this, I just resonated a lot with it. The quote says,
Mr. Shelf gave me one of the greatest phrases when I first met him when he said, Jim, every day stand guard at the door of your mind. How important. And you decide what goes into your mental factory. Don't let anybody just dump anything they want to in your mental factory, because you've got to live with the result. You gotta be careful.
I first noticed this with one of my brothers. I have 6 older brothers, and the eldest one has cemented this into his soul. I love him to bits. I've tried to give him as much help as possible, but he sees the world a different way than I do. He sees it as everything is stacked against him and there's nothing that he can do to win. And the truth is, it's amazing how he has tricked himself into believing this. A lot of it stems from my dad. My dad objectively just wasn't a good father. And I'm not trying to downplay all the things that has happened. That my dad left a lot of scars in the family. But at some point in life, you go down 2 roads, and he has gone down a path where everything is somebody else's fault. You see, victimhood is one of the 5 things that seeps into poor people's mind. So here are the 5 things, in my estimation, that seeps into poor people's mind. The first one is Mr. Victim. This is where people learn helplessness. They think that they have no agency in life. Someone else is at fault for the things that happen in their life. And look, some of it even may be true. Maybe something did happen in your life and someone is actually affecting you negatively. However, it doesn't affect the trajectory of life. Because this has happened, it doesn't mean it causes an effect to go on and on and on. You can stop it whenever you like. The next one is Mr. Compensation. Mr. Compensation is the person who buys things to signal status, to make it known that they are above you and they are the person. This can be a bit of a tricky one because people may say that, oh, there's nothing wrong with, having nice things, and there's not. The problem becomes where if you don't have these nice things, you feel inadequate. A lot of the time, people look for status and material things to cover up some insecurities in themselves. This one can really get people for years. They think that money and status will solve all their problems because the problem is they don't feel very comfortable and safe with themselves. The next one is Mr. Instant, the person who can't delay gratification. They need everything now. They can't see in the future. They can't build anything because they need to get it now. These people will drag you to the club when you should be working. They'll say, let's go out to eat when you should be studying. These people are impulsive and can't deal with boredom. They can't see how doing something boring for a long time can yield you great result. These people will justify their actions and it can become a slippery slope. They need the instant, quick thing. They'll take away your time and energy. They'll literally distract you and keep you passive. Now never last. It's fun to have these people around in your life, but understand if someone is like this all the time, they're going down a self-destructive cliff. The next one is Mr. Cynical. God, I hate these type of people. Narrow-minded, small thinkers. The person, the parent who tells you that will never work. Don't go to this seminar. Courses are scams. Everything is a scam. You can't do that. That doesn't really how it works. These people are so irritating. They think everything is a scam. Everyone that's successful is lucky and it can't happen to you. They themselves have no idea what they're talking about a lot of the time. They haven't tried it themselves. They don't know many people who are successful, so they think in their heads that everything is a scam. Just don't do it. Don't even try to do it. And they would look down on you and judge you if you try and do it yourself. These people have talked so many people out of their dreams. It's so destructive. I'll be honest. Every time I've heard someone like this type of mindset, they're always broke, have no responsibilities. Even if they have a 9 to 5, they're not really like a high manager. They're just someone who's just so bitter and cynical. It's infuriating to be around these people. It's a defense mechanism. They want to keep themselves safe and justify in their heads why they shouldn't also do the same thing. If you listen to these type of people, you will stop spotting opportunities and everything will become a conspiracy theory in your eyes. And the last one is Mr. No Boundary. Mr. No Boundaries has no standards. They say yes to everything. They show up late. They think it's okay to show up late. They flake. They don't have respect for themselves, so then they don't have respect for other people. They get walked over by a lot of people. They haven't learned the art of saying no. It's very difficult when someone like this is close to you because you do feel sorry for them. Because they know themselves that they shouldn't be saying yes or doing these things or picking up other people's burden. And look, these type of people treat their time as if it's cheap. Time is the only thing that we have, and they themselves can't respect anything. No one respects people that have no boundaries. Stay away from them. Stay away from them. You will know someone who has one of these 5 things. You may know someone like this. And look, you have to understand that these people do not go out and be like, oh, I want to get a poor mentality. What's happened is that they haven't challenged in their minds why they are like the way they are. They've just accepted it. They don't mean to be malicious or actually do you harm. And understand, people like this often don't realize how dangerous this type of thinking is. They're not out to do you harm. They just haven't realized themselves how bad this type of stuff is. It's hard to audit yourself and really be honest and be like, am I really cynical? But doesn't mean that you need to adopt or save them. Trust me, I've tried to do that. You can only change your own mind. The people who have real influence and change usually do that by having an outcome or doing something themselves, and then the person resonates with that and then wants to change themselves. Change comes from within. I'm sure you've heard that before. You can't save them. They need to save themselves. There's no magical formula to be like, oh, I can jujitsu your mind and shift you to a new paradigm. It doesn't work like that. Sometimes, and this is just my theory in general, when life is really shit and you're at maybe death's door or something really bad happens to you, that's when people start auditing themselves. Or perhaps if they see a therapist or something like that, but it's not your job to do. You need to stay away from these people. I can't tell you how dangerous this stuff is. Like the story of my brother, we had the same father. My dad wasn't a good father. Fair enough. What am I gonna do about it? Am I gonna cry and moan and say, because I didn't have a dad, I don't know how to be a man or talk to girls? Or you take responsibility and you go and do it anyway. Do it despite this. If you want to use it as an excuse to keep safe, you're going to fall into one of these 5 things. And then you're going to infect someone else and they will then keep the cycle going. Stand guard, don't let it affect you. Don't let it affect you.